Hi, this is Marcusadam with the Airman Real Estate team. I'm here with Kyle. He just recently purchased this property as an investment property. We have a single family residence in the front. In the back, we have a detached garage that will be converted down the road into another income producing property. But let's take a tour and see. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so when you first enter the house, you got a living space here that I use as my living room. And then immediately to the left, there's a hallway with a bathroom and two smaller rooms. And I'll explain here in a little bit that there's a couple living areas to be used as living rooms. Okay, and then over here, right from the first living area, it leads into the kitchen. So the kitchen is conveniently located in the center part of the house. Now, you said investment property. I'm gonna live here temporarily, as you know. After living here for a little bit, I'm gonna get a roommate, and then that roommate is gonna have access to this kitchen as well. Nice. But my intention initially is to have the second half of the house that we're about to see furnished and rent it to travel nurses, as I do to a lot of my other portfolios. So I want some separation between my guests and my own living quarters. I don't want them to feel like I'm watching over them. So we're going to go ahead and put a door in on this side, and then actually put a door where you're standing and a small wall. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty soundproof, but the point is to allow this to be a common area and these sides of the house to be private areas.
I like that. I like that idea. It's a good idea.
But luckily, purchasing this house, paid full price, but a lot of investors would say that that's not a great idea. But I say it's fine if you know how to use the property based on that purchase price.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll later turn this whole entire house into an furnished insurance house. So people that are displaced will come here and use the house in its entirety. We'll close in the garage, rent out that space to a travel nurse. But in the meantime, this is going to be a common kitchen and two wings of the house. So let's check out the rest of the house.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Now we're in the back end of the house right now. So Kyle's going to go into his advice for first-time investors, early investors that are beginning and starting the process. So any advice that you have for people starting out, I think?
Yeah, I would say that there's not one right way to invest. A lot of people think that what you need to do is you need to buy a single family house, then you buy a duplex, then you buy a triplex. That's a great strategy, but what about me? Right now, I own a 5-unit, I own two units, and then now what looks like a single family, but it's not going to be a single family. I'm going to rent the other side of the house as basically by the room situation to travel medical staff or digital nomads or something like that, while I'm converting the garage. Then once the garage is converted, then this single family house up front here is going to be a furnished rental to insurance claim victims and things like that. And then the back unit will probably be a travel medical staff unit there. So it's non-conventional, right? There's not one way to invest. There's not one right way, that is.
Or to rent, right?
Or to rent.
Yeah. Instead of just posting on Zillow and trying to get, top dollar, you're utilizing your, the internet and what you can do with it. So
yeah, most of my portfolio is furnished.
Yeah,
and people are afraid to furnish it because it's more risk and it's more upfront costs. But once you learn a certain system, you get comfortable where you're at,
Yeah.
Some people like unfurnished stuff, single families, that's great. Some people like multi-unit unfurnished, that's great. I like multi-unit furnished.
Yeah.
That's what seems to work for me.
What are you projecting that do you have a certain benchmark you try to hit for your net that you're trying to make every month? Or is there just, if it cash flows, it'll work for you?
Well, see, my strategy's changed over time. So when I first bought my 5-unit property, for instance, I bought it to be an unfurnished 5-unit property. Okay. I had no plans to furnish it. So when I was running my numbers, I ran it as an unfurnished property, long-term leases, and it cash flowed there. And then later when I started, I was in a different living situation, and my partner and I decided that we were going to rent out, a business partner, that we were going to rent out a couple of the rooms of the house and furnish them. And that's when I started thinking, oh, well, this furnished thing, maybe we can make more cash flow.
I think I remember that.
Yep. And so I tried it with one of my units over there at the 5-unit place. Okay. Worked really well. And I was like, wow, what if I do this 5 times over? And now I'm like, okay, now I got some good systems going on. Let's do it in new places that I'm purchasing too. So now I'm running my numbers as if I'm going to have it be furnished.
And do you buy, so for advice for people thinking about actually furnishing their rentals instead of just renting them vacant or empty, do you buy everything brand new, or do you buy some things brand new, some things are always, you buy maybe, used, or just,
For furnishing?
For furnishing. Are there any ideas that people can, or should they expect to pay, a certain amount of money to furnish that unit?
That's a good question. I've heard it said buy nice or buy thrice before.
Yeah.
Meaning
buy multiple times.
Yeah, either you buy the thing from IKEA, and then in the next 2 years you'll buy that thing 3 times more times.
Yeah.
For me, that's not been the case because I don't see a lot of wear and tear. I'm not renting to people that are partying. I try to buy small houses. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath will be the biggest house that I have, or biggest unit, I should say. In my experience, I haven't seen that. I would say try to find the middle ground, right?
Okay.
You could drive out to, an at-home store or something and pay $800 for a coffee table, or you could go on Amazon and pay $250, assemble it yourself, and then sure, it might, get damaged within the next 3 years. But then also they make, furniture pens and things like that. So you can extend its life, those sort of things. And so if you have a good handyman who's willing to do things like that, repair furniture to minor extents, you can really, extend the life of a lot of things.
Okay.
I didn't break the bank when I first got into this.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know, because a lot of the people are just starting out, and that's what
they're
curious about.
To furnish a studio is typically around $5,000 to $6,000.
Okay.
To furnish a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, I don't know, I've never done it, but I would expect it to probably be twice to 3 times that.
Yeah. For the flat. Remember the flat downtown? That was like 20. I think we spent 20 or 25,000.
Oh, wow.
We went over because we were just knuckleheads, and we were just.
You have to learn somehow.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
All right, so obviously this area is blown up right now. It's got a lot of boxes. These are all things that I bought on Amazon that I'm going to assemble.
Nice.
I still do a lot of the assembly myself. I also asked my handyman to come by and we'll do it together. Try to knock it all out in one day. This will be the second living area of the house that I'll rent to a traveler from 1 to 3 months at a time. Potentially off Airbnb. I'm not quite sure if I want to do that in this space yet. But this will be the second living room of the house that I will not be entering.
Okay.
This will be a private quarters for the person that's renting from me. So we'll go ahead and walk into the primary bedroom. So this one's larger than the one I'm living in, which will be the one that I'll be renting out. And this is the primary bedroom. This is the bedroom I'll be renting out. It's got a walk-in shower, full-size bathroom, and then a full-size closet as well.
Oh, nice.
So entering into this area of the house, there's the back door that we'll take a look at here in a second, flows right into their living area and then into their bedroom and bathroom.
Sweet.
So it's an easy way for them to be able to let themselves in with having the privacy that they probably desire. And then here in the backyard, this is the entryway to the backyard that the tenant will be able to allow themselves into.
Sweet.
We also have a covered porch area covering the car that they can park under to keep out from the sun.
Yeah.
It's a nice feature here in the Arizona sun. And here's the garage here. I'm going to fully permit everything at this property. This will be, right now, it's about a 450 square foot garage.
Yeah.
With the utilities on this side. We'll go ahead and add a kitchen that's going to wrap around this corner. This will be a living room, small dining room area. The utilities are already there, so the kitchen's already half done for me, which is great. And then behind the camera, then there will be a hallway with a full-size bathroom and a full-size bedroom that will be an extension on the back of the house.
Wow.
So I'll be pouring a slab back there and plumbing that, which will be a good experience for me. That'll be my first time doing it.
Yeah. So did you decide to just keep this one bedroom or one unit and not make 2 right now?
I don't want to bite off more than what my pocketbook will allow.
Yeah.
And then also, I've told you before, I like small units. I like small apartments to a single person, to a couple with a kid. I don't have the garage space for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, full garage for a family of 8, right? with 4 animals, right? I like to keep it right. I like to keep it very simple, and that way it's one rentable. Yeah. Very, very rentable. There's a lot of people looking for 1 bedrooms.
Absolutely.
And then once you get into 2 bedrooms, then they're also looking for a second bathroom as well. Yeah. I just really enjoy the studio with a full kitchen or the 1 bedroom, 1 bath situation.
Seems excited to see it. Yeah,
That's gonna be great.
Perfect, Kyle. Well, thank you for walking us through. You know, it was a pleasure getting this done with you.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the house in you know, in its entirety throughout the transaction? How did that go?
Dude, smooth transaction, very
Sweet.
smooth. Yeah, you know, there were some like holdups with my debt to income ratio and things like that based on my portfolio that I do have right now.
Yeah.
How many I've acquired in the last 4 years. But you and broker Brian were able to knock it out, which was great. Overcome all those, keep communicating with me, so I do appreciate it. Love the house. I think it's going to be a great investment for me long term. Tons of potential. You knew my criteria, and you were able to find it for me in short order.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure serving you, Kyle, and your family,
Thanks, man.
and the team. You know, enjoys working with you all the time. We look forward to a lot more investment transactions in the near future, and we'll get it done. Kyle's also a loan officer. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. You could do some self-promotion real quick.
All right, yeah, I'm a loan officer. I'm working with my broker who actually helped me purchase my whole portfolio. Brian Arvizu, Next Gen Financial Services out of Tempe. I'm working the Tucson branch, and by Tucson branch, there's 2 of us. We run a small team, but we can offer products competitive in the Scottsdale and Tempe market.
Okay.
So
nice.
bringing them to the Tucson market, we can knock it out of the park for rates and terms. So if you'd like to work with us, get with Marcus, get my contact information. Let's do business together. Marcus and I will be working together in the future. So
Yeah. Let's do it.
Cool.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, bro.
All right.